What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Triple T podcast for knife makers. This is a special, delayed Idaho Monday Night Football, supposed to be extravaganza. As always, I have my co-host, Mr. Dennis Tyrell from Tyrell Knifeworks, here with me. How
Yo,
the hell are you, buddy?
I'm good. Sounds like I'm bright and more chipper than you are.
I'm a little beat. I'm not gonna lie.
It's that getting old, man. You can't hang with the young kids anymore, I guess, huh?
No, that's fact. Yeah, I should say yes. That is fact. Yeah, these quick turnaround trips are, turning into be more eventful than they used to be. So
more
but
eventful. More eventful. What does that mean?
It means they take a toll.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they take a toll. Yeah, so I'm fresh off a trip back to Idaho. Flew out Sunday evening, and then I just got back here about an hour ago or so, hour and a half, something like that.
Yeah, we did try to record last night, but I was having internet issues. You sounded like you were yelling at a bucket.
Yeah. That was hilarious. I do want to say. So I'm doing the. We opened the show. I'm doing the intro. I'm sitting in a car trying to channel in my inner fader, right? And I start doing the intro. Welcome to another Triple T, and I see Denis telling me motioning me to come closer to the mic, but I'm in the car. It's dark, and my dumbass goes closer to my phone, and I bump the phone with my face.
And you're wearing AirPods or something.
Yeah, I was wearing AirPods. There was no mic to go to. I was just it was late.
That was probably the best part of the show. It went down from there, so it's good that we're re-recording.
It sure did. Yeah. So, anyways, folks, we do apologize for the delay. I appreciate all the messages that I got of where the fuck are you guys at and what's happening. So that's cool again, and our apologies. But our goal here at the Triple T podcast is to provide the best entertainment that we are able to provide. And last night it would have been subpar had we released this morning, and you guys just don't deserve that. You deserve better. So here we are.
All right. So work trip, right?
It was a work trip. Yeah.
So what, they wine and dine you? Is this one of those, or is this?
No, I actually had to go out there and kiss hands and shake babies, or however you say that.
All right.
I think it's the other way around. But
you had to apologize for all the shit that was going wrong.
Actually, it was literally just like a check-in with one of our bigger clients, and just making sure they're happy and kind of convey a couple concerns or not concerns, but a couple of items that we can all improve on as a team. And so I had to get all super.
Sounding very management there.
I know, man. It's so bad. I hate it. I told you I don't like talking shop, but I find, Dennis, I've explained this to you before. I think it happened to me with knife making the first time we were at Blade Show, and I think I was just talking to somebody at the table. You weren't around, and I was explaining something about the gold knife, the first one, the failure. You have this out of body experience where after it's over, I'm like, who the fuck was that? I don't, and I do that a lot at work. I find myself just going after I'm done, because I'm like, geez, this is so bad. But hey,
yeah, we've all been there. I've had that experience myself at trade shows, especially because you said the same fucking thing for 200 times, and you were like, was that me talking, or I don't even remember the conversation. I don't remember who it was. I said the same thing.
No.
Yeah. I know.
But my voice will get deeper, and I'll be like, yes, and the value in this, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like,
so were you able to turn any of this into a knife making adventure, or was this all business?
You know what, sir? I have preached this, and I will continue to preach this, but my best recommendation for all makers of all experience is to put yourself out there and try to connect with other makers. And when you have the opportunity, reach out to somebody and go see them, go check out their shop, and go hang out. So I actually did that. I've been up there a couple times, and I've not been able to connect with Mr. Brian Hunt from Hidden Rose Forge, and I reached out to him yesterday, and it had to work the way that it did, to where like all of my scheduled events ended, and he was about a half an hour from where I was, and it just worked out, like the timing and everything. So I was able to go check out Brian, go check out his shop, see his house. Beautiful, beautiful home. The property he has, just like for a guy that's from California, living in the city his whole life. That kind of um, environment, setting is really like end game style stuff. So, but he has a beautiful family, very nice, very gracious. Offered, to have me, and my coworker was with me. Offered to dinner to us, and we got to go hang out in the shop, and
Nice.
it was cool. It was a good time. My favorite part of the whole thing was, obviously, it's just like you're. From my side, I was trying to explain to my coworker buddy. I was like, so the part for me is just going to be like, when I go into this shop, like all I'm going to be doing for the first like 10 minutes is just like scoping everything out. Like, how is this process compared to my process? How is his space utilized versus my space? And kind of checking out, I have that, I have this, I have that, or he doesn't have that, or blah, 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 blah. And I think that's one of the coolest things about, when you do end up connecting with somebody. But I was happy to find out that Mr. Hunt is shares a lot of similarities with the knife making verb Jerid.
He has unfinished knives everywhere. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I felt so at home. I thought if I'd closed my eyes, I would have felt the presence of many projects in different various stages of completion. It was fantastic. And he was like, "Hey, but he opens a drawer, and this is my Jerid drawer. It's just full of shit, like just all stuff in different varieties, man." But yeah, really cool experience. I'm super happy that I got to we got to work it out, and that we got that done. Brian's a super cool dude. Great knife maker. I just loved seeing and talking and doing the whole thing. And what it ended up supposed to only being about a half an hour, turned into an hour, a little over an hour. And it was too short though.
Well,
I
nice.
wish we had more time. I wish we had more, like, to get into something, but it was cool. It was a good time.
Sounds good. I spent the afternoon the opposite of that. I was on the receiving end of a situation like that. A guy had reached out to me on the weekend, which I forgot to tell you about, but he reached out over the weekend and said he's towards Yosemite, Mariposa County.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's a pretty new maker. His name's Adam, and he said, "Hey, I watch your videos, learn you're from Livermore. You're like two and a half hours away from me, but he's like, yeah, I know it's kind of like a shot in the dark, but I was wondering if you would let me come over. I know you have an oven, come over and heat treat some knives." And he offered to pay for them, but I was like, whatever. And so he came over this afternoon, and really good guy. He's like 34. He actually he's a skydiving instructor, which was interesting. So we talked a lot about that, but he's only been making since July of last year. So just over a year.
Yep.
Some fantastic knives. He's already making Damascus. He's done feathers. He's really, really interested in the Damascus end of things. So he had 5 knives he wanted to heat treat, and he's always done it in a forge. So, we went through. I took him through all like the, give him the shop tour kind of thing,
Sure.
And then took him through. And he's never heat treated with an oven, so I'm going through. We're going to do all these steps, and I took him through every step, and And one thing I really appreciated with really appreciate when you talk to a maker who's, learning or coming up or something like that, who's not afraid. And you have this attribute, and I like it. He's not afraid. Like when I'd say, hey, like, and I'm genuinely saying, okay, we're going to do, I think the first 20 minutes of our conversation, I said, okay, we're going to do normalization, and then we're going to do grain refinement. And he's like, grain refinement, what's that? And he's not afraid to, like, every time I said a term he didn't know, he wasn't afraid to stop me and say, hey, what does that mean? And what is that? And I said, well, you've probably done the descending temperatures, which is, we've had this discussion, misnomer. You don't want to do those 1600, 1500, 1400 temperatures. Like, and we talked about, do the normal. Anyway, we went through the whole thing, and he was here for like 3 hours. We went out for lunch and got all his blades done. And then we surface ground one, tested on the tester, rated 65.
Nice.
Obviously not
tempered,
not tempered, but, and he was thrilled, and he was like, man. And I told him, like, that color after you oven, you quench, you're got it in the oven and you quench and you get that nice whitish gray color.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, I've never. And I said, well, yeah, it's hard. Like I can tell it's hard. I can, just by looking at it, like that color and all the scale coming off, it's hard blade. He's like, yeah, I've never had that color before. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, you probably haven't dialed in your forge temps and stuff like that. So it was fun. It was fun having him over, and he ended up buying a straightening hammer, and he'll probably come back for some classes. So it was, it was good karma, and it was just enjoyable having him in the shop. So it was good.
No, I think that's fantastic, and good for you, Adam. For like I said, I can't express how much it's helped me, how many relationships I've been able to develop, how much knowledge I've been able to gain and exchange, and by just simply raising my hand and saying, like I said, it's awkward. It's kind of like going on a date or something. You feel a little insecure and stuff, but it's worth every bit of it. And I'd say more. I have yet to have an experience where I wish I wouldn't have, right? And I think that really speaks to the community, but it's also just, we're all like, I don't know if we're like-minded, but our interest is and our personalities are very similar as knife makers. And it's just, I understand what you're saying. Like when you're talking to somebody that has the passion, like, right away, like it's a connect, and you feel like what you're saying and you're talking about is worth, the time, right?
Yeah.
And it feels like it's going, there's some retention, and but I really enjoy that. It inspires me and it gets me back motivated, for gets me back to the beginning, right? Where everything was just like, ooh, 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 ooh. I want to know more. So that's good, man. And I appreciate you, continuing to do that, because you did that for me too. So, and now look at us.
That's
so maybe
right.
Don't do it, Adam. Run, fucker, run.
See what happens after a couple of years. You end up as a host on a podcast.
Yeah. Jeez.
You got to listen to us drone on all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Is it the value of team making and so yeah, I do agree though that's really cool, man. So that's awesome. I'm glad we both got to kind of hang out with other people and realize we don't like each other. It's pretty cool.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Oh, so much, man.
If you would only go away more, then I'd probably like you more.
I know. I'm doing it now, dude. You're never gonna see me again.
But
yeah.
you know what? You know what I was happy about? Well, not the most, but one of the things I was super happy about today, having the garage door open all day, and it wasn't blistering hot today.
That's really cool.
Very happy about.
Yeah, this weekend sucked.
It sucked on so many levels.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah.
I didn't. I got so I knew I had to leave on Sunday. So Saturday, the better idea would have been to spend it in the shop, but I wanted to make sure I got some time with the family and Lynn. So basically, which was nice. It wasn't planned, but I really just kind of sat on my LoveSac.
Is that a euphemism for something?
No, it's literally a piece of furniture called a LoveSac.
One of my friends has one of those.
Yeah, it's just a great word. Yeah, we have a LoveSac, the movie size. It's a giant, expensive, super comfortable beanbag. We also have the Sactionals.
Okay, we have a title for the podcast.
LoveSac Sactionals. That's great. But that's what I did. I sat around on my LoveSac products and watched TV with Lynn on Saturday, and then I got out there for a little bit. But I got up early on Sunday and went out and had the AC running. And now that the summer's over, I think I figured out how to beat the heat, which is to just dig into my pockets and let that mini split run never ending, because it was very cool. It was 100 and something the day before, and what I'm trying to get to is that I spent about 5 or 6 hours in the shop, and it was like 12 o'clock, and I started to get like kind of warm, and like I was just feeling like the fan was blowing the cool mini split air on me, and I was just like, geez, but you're in the shop with it closed up, and you're not really paying attention like what time it was, and it was only like 12:30 or something. It was already like 96, and I was just like, fuck, dude, this is brutal. I can't wait for it to be over.
Yeah, Sunday I decided I was going to do it Saturday, and I trimmed the bushes, and I was like, fuck this. I'm like, so then Sunday I go to cut the grass, and I literally almost had to like go have a nap after. I was so hot and so exhausted, and it was 11:30.
Yeah, it was hot.
It was like,
dude.
it was brutal.
Ridiculous.
I should have just jumped in the pool, but
yeah. But I mean, I did get some hand sanding, busted out the sand minnow, let that puppy eat, and I really love that thing. I really can't express how
nice.
how
the
much
sand shark, as its proper name.
What? Wow, it said
wrecking my
brand.
Online. Jeez.
I was calling it what was I calling it for a long time? The Sex Machine? Sex Machine 5000 or something? Yeah, at least it's got a similar name. Okay, I utilize the Sand Shark, a product by Denis Tyrell from Tyrell Knifeworks.
Thank you.
TyrellKnifeworks.com.
Use the lower voice for that.
There you go. Yeah, but I can't again. First grit, off the belt, off the grinder. That's where the money's at. It's worth every single penny you're going to spend on just getting through that first grit, and then the rest is kind of cake work after that.
Yeah, so, for sure. That's where it shines the most, is on the first grit.
Yep.
Mr. Kyle Daly, I got a package from him. We've been chatting, kind of cross collaborating, and he sent me the Sanding Buddy. Nice. Which is the sanding sticks where you can replace with the different radiuses, and just in time, because I had to do the hand sanding on the dagger, which has got quad hollow grinds, right? Because it's a dagger.
Right.
So I was putting that to good use on the Sand Shark, doing those hollows, and it was a lifesaver. So awesome. We're going to do a little cross promotion. I got a bunch of IG stuff to do, and I'll probably do some stories on YouTube, some shorts rather, and there's another little, I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag yet, but there might be a cool new attachment for the Sand Shark coming up that you're all going to want to see. So
very cool.
It's still in development, but I think anyone with a Sand Shark is going to want it. And anyone that doesn't have a Sand Shark, you're going to want to look.
Cool. That's exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah, it made the Sand Shark even cooler.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. Made short work of this, finishing up I'm calling this profile the Reverb.
Reverb. I like it.
Yeah, and you want to ask why, Jerid? Why do you call this a reverb? Because you know what, I never thought about when I was faking a name for a knife making venture with my buddies, that I would ever have to like, I would lose out on the opportunity of like picking a forge name like you do, right? So your stuff is all sharks.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Haynes, Bird Forge, all birds, right? Like there's like endless amounts of, names
Themes,
and models and themes that you could do. So I was like, okay, thesaurus, echo. I came up with reverb. So
you should
boom.
yodel.
Yeah, yodel. Don't get me yodeling, dude. That's not cool. But yeah, so that was the first one that came across, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do that. So that's what this is gonna be.
So they're
That's
all
the
going to be
name of this.
sound related, echo, reverb.
You're gonna run out. Yeah, this one's gonna be called Scream, Sing. I'm kidding.
Pontificate.
Yeah, yell, fuck off. No.
All right,
Shut up.
everyone send Jerid good sound related knife names to the IG account, please.
Yes, either that or they're all gonna be Nacho Libre sayings.
That's okay too. I don't mind.
Yeah. But yeah, so that that'll be done pretty quick here. And what else? Finished up my second sheath and really, 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 really have settled into the fact that I did not enjoy it.
It takes time to start to enjoy those.
I was talking to Brian when I was out there, and he had some really cool ideas. I would talk to him a little more so I don't F it up, but he does leather work too. And I asked him, and I said, I just finished my second one. The first one I really enjoyed. Like I had a blast doing it, but it was more because I think it was just new, and I had that going through something for the first time kind of energy about it. And this one, I just didn't feel it. And but I'm okay, right?
But it looks good.
Yeah, it came out great. I'm happy with it. I mean, it's not great, but it looks like a second sheath to me. But I was like, hey, do you like doing leather work? And he goes, I do leather work. Like I do it. And I was like, man, that is perfect. Because that's kind of how I feel right now. You know what I mean? Like, because there is knives that don't deserve kydex to me. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm in that same boat as Brian. I mean, maybe I like it a little, I hate getting started on sheaths. Like I've said this many times, like the whole cutting out the leather is the part that I just don't like. And I don't know why. It seems like such a simple thing. But once it's cut out in like the sheath shape, then I can get going. It's like this dread of starting that gets me every time.
I think you've said it many times in your video, and both videos on leather making. It's all about the processes, right?
Yeah.
And I think once you get that down, I think you just told me this time, you're like, I guess you start to get into the groove when you're able to identify that, oh, hey, I want to do this, but first I got to do these couple things. So and then that starts a chain reaction, a movement and a groove in, and now you're cooking with propane and off to the races.
Yeah, it is definitely one of those, like, you need to think about your step before you do your step. You need to think about, I want to do this step. So what do I need to do before that? Before you jump. This is the same in knife making when guys forget to drill their pinholes, right? It's the same kind of thing. You get excited about doing the next step and you don't think about that step. Like what else you need to do.
You don't put your maker's mark on.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Which is cool now that we have lasers, but that doesn't really factor in.
Yeah.
But
you have a laser now. You can you can laser etch your.
I didn't even freaking think about it. Two things I want to talk about: knife profiling in AutoCAD. Boo. Brian was telling me, I have AutoCAD at work, and or I shouldn't say that, but anyways, I have AutoCAD, and I like to do it, and I was trying to explain it to him, but he was very happy about explaining to me how much he loved doing it. And I was just like, I just can't do it. I've used AutoCAD for my entire life, and I cannot find enjoyment in doing the knife design. And then I especially with knife print, because it's not really CAD. Like, my brain thinks in a different way. And I totally spaced on the other thing.
But my issue with, I know how to use Fusion 360. The issue I would have, it's not, maybe, I'm sure it is, but I can't do it fast enough. It's not freeform enough. It's not like I can sit here and grab a node and drag it around and change the, the angle with the handles like I can do in knife print. Like, I feel like I'm sure I could design something in Fusion 360 2D, but it would take me 10 times longer than I could do it in knife print. That's my issue. I know knife print is not real CAD, but it's dumbed down for me to make it faster.
And I think it serves a great purpose being that dumbed down version. And you're right. It does kind of really highlight certain features that are useful and helpful and help speed up knife profiling in CAD. It's just some of us, like you're saying, your brain thinks with what you learned with and what you're more comfortable with, and that process, right? And it's reversed with me with AutoCAD.
Yeah.
I totally spaced on the second part of whatever I was going to say, but it'll probably come to me. But yeah, I thought that was cool. That he doesn't know it yet, but he might be helping me. No.
But he's going to help you with CAD?
I didn't know. He doesn't know that yet, but I was thinking about it while the whole time he was talking to me. I was like, you really like this, huh? Well, maybe I'll help you out. Yeah.
Because your other asshole friend hasn't...
bitch won't even fucking acknowledge that he's already said something. Oh, and then the other thing was, I have to do it because, like I said, it's unfortunate, but it is a part of life that sometimes you are right. And
I'm perked up now.
I just saw that. I did just see that. So there's anyways, I purchased a grooving tool off of Amazon.
Oh yes.
And when I got the package, the tool that was on there wasn't what I bought. And I told you, and you were like, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah, but I haven't." I looked at it and then I put it down, and so I took a picture of it. And you're like, "I think there's another part of that in that package," and there was. And so I ended up getting what I needed, and you were right. Glad I didn't send it back or get pissed off and throw it away, because I was about to. I was like,
yeah, it's the exact same one, like same brand that I ordered. So when I saw it, when you showed me the package, I'm like, they're definitely
it's in there.
Either that or it's somehow fallen out of the package, but it definitely,
I found it. So nice. You're right.
So I want to go back to the sheath. So what was your favorite part of making the sheath?
Being done?
Come on. Of all the steps, is there one step that you like more than the others, or like it's all equally boring and you don't like it?
I didn't enjoy much of it this time. I think it's because I what I wanted to do was to maybe record the process more. I definitely wanted to make a template, which I didn't do. Like, there's things that I wanted to do that I know are going to help me do this on my own, so I can get productive and practice, right? So I feel like the next time we go, the next one I got to go back there, because we were in a hurry when we were trying to squeeze this time in to get that thing done. I can't really think. Nothing was fun, to be honest with you. And I think it's because it was Saturday and I was just hanging out on my LoveSac. I enjoyed sitting watching TV and burnishing the edge with the like the hand burnish, because it was something that I could do outside of the shop. Like, I felt productive while I was doing nothing too. But I think that was important to see the end product of what I was shooting for, right? Seeing it not burnished and then burnishing it, not burnishing it enough, and then keep going back. And just need to do more of that.
Yeah.
Stitching was lame. I think, like I said last time, the the beginner tool set that you recommend is bullshit, but I agree it was worth it because you're gonna have to all the tools instead of breaking needles and trying to find shit. But it just all comes down to inexperience and not knowing what anything was.
And you need those basic tools to understand which ones you need, and you're slowly going to replace a few of them.
Sure. Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Yeah,
I just like busting your balls more than anything. I think you just.
But I was wondering if, because what I like doing, and I honestly I don't mind the stitching. Most people hate it, but I find that pretty therapeutic. But the other thing that I like is actually doing the tooling on the leather, like doing the patterning and the stamping.
That is probably the most creative you feel during the process, like artistic, if you will,
Yeah.
There's a shitload of tools that come in that, or patterns that come in that little kit. So I could easily see when I'm starting to think about how the little, I'm going to call it lame, but the little pattern I did around the edge of the line makes you really respect and appreciate when people do those intricate basket patterns throughout on the whole face of the sheath. And there's a lot to be said there.
For you and for anyone that's gonna thinking about doing those kind of basket weave patterns, buy a quality stamp. It makes a huge difference. If you use the cheap stamps, they're never going to line up. You're going to get frustrated. You want one that has like, if it's like a honeycomb, you want one that has like 3 or 4 of the honeycombs, so it's easy to match.
I totally see that now. Yes, I can totally see that.
I've tried to use the basket weave that comes in that little kit, and it looks like a fucking blind person did it. Like it just like the lines are, wavy as hell, and it's just a nightmare. So
I did just remember the part 2 of the two things is, so it's the knife designing and then in the laser peckering. I don't know what it is. I do not find any. I was so stoked to get that laser, like with the opportunities and the abilities I was going to have to make things, because the LP4 has a diode and the infrared, right? So it didn't even cross my mind to do it on this leather sheath until after I was done.
Yeah, no, you can, even when you're done, like then get a good image and do a little test piece on a little test piece of leather. But
it's not going to mess up the dyed leather.
I do it at the very end after it's been dyed.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Yeah. Maybe I still have some time.
But look up. I think it has a leather setting, but try it. And you should, if you have a piece that's dyed, you should probably dye a piece and try it, because it will make a difference when it's colored. But
gotcha.
Yeah, and you can make it as deep or as superficial as you want, and it comes out nice. I've done it for folks before.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I have that stamp with my maker's mark, like my logo that I put on sheaths, but way before, and I still use that because I think it looks cool. But and it's one less thing I have to use the laser for.
Again, man, it's like it's like having all the ambition to get every single attachment on your 2x72, and you end up buying another fucking grinder because you don't want to change attachments. Like, that's how I feel about the lasers. Like I don't even want to be bothered with pulling them out.
Well,
maybe,
I mean,
somebody back me up or tell me I'm being stupid.
No, you're absolutely not. I agree with you. The only reason I'm okay with it is because I have a permanent desk that has my laser on it in the office. And
amen, brother. Amen. Because I am now going to take over one of the rooms in the house and make a leather room and a laser room, because it definitely keeping the leather work area separate from the dirty ass shop is a plus.
If I didn't have so much other shit going on in this office, I would move my leather work up here, but I got the light box and I have the 3D printer and I've got the laser, which is massive, and I don't have them. I've got 2 desks side by side and they're both totally full.
Yeah, they are. I'm seeing it.
Yeah. But what did I do besides that? I etched the dagger today. So the only thing I have left on the dagger is to do the hot salts for all the fittings, which I will do tomorrow morning and be done with this thing because I feel like it's dragging and it's been a pain in the ass.
It's been an absolute pleasure to watch you kind of toil and not struggle with it. But I think when I was doing the sheath, you were messing with the inlay. My favorite thing, I'm doing this master style or something. I laughed about that on the way home.
Yeah, it's
no cutting corners, right?
I was trying not to cut any corners because when you do the wire inlay on the master, on the quill and dagger for the master smith test, you're not allowed to glue the wire in place. It has to be pressure fit. I was swearing so much yesterday when I was putting that wire in those holes because I did it yesterday morning.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to, but I was tempted to throw that handle across the room because every time I would put it in there, it would like pop out in one area. It was like playing whack-a-mole.
That sucks.
But I finally got it in and done, and it looks really good. So I'm happy.
Well, shit.
I'll be happy when all the fittings are black and I can put the damn thing together, call it done, and get the video out. But if I get really energetic, I think I'll get the build video out for Saturday, which would be good.
Oh, that's cool. That's great. So, yeah, do that so I can watch it on my way up to Reno.
Oh, yes, you're going to see my friend Rick.
Your friend? Get the hell out of here. He definitely likes me better.
Well, yeah, he breaks your shit.
Yeah, I know. Wait a minute. I rethink that. Yeah, so I just informed him today, actually, that I was like, hey, buddy, really sorry for the short notice. I know we were kind of planning this month, but if I don't do it this weekend, I'm not going to be able to do it until after Makers Camp. So, and I wanted to make sure I got up there. So it's not in stone yet, but if all goes well, I will be jumping in the car early Saturday morning and heading up to go see our buddy. Maybe Friday evening, but I'm probably not going to do that. But I will have the opportunity to get my two Basterds fat peen straight and diagonal and get to grip it and rip it. Because you know what? It's pretty damn grand to have a fat peen in your hand, sir. And if you're looking for a new hammer, make sure you go check out Frank and Anita at Two Basterds Hammers and tell them that the boys over at Triple T sent you. Top quality, awesome stuff. And hot fresh off the press here, the Vaquero Special Maritime Knife Supply Edition is back in stock. And nice. I do know that because Lawrence said so.
All right, nice.
And while you're at it, if you're needing any kind of knife making materials and supplies, you should go check out maritimeknifesupply.com or .ca. I think there's two websites now, one for Canada and one for America. I did that.
I'm laughing at something else, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, fuck off. I thought that was good. Yeah, for all your knife making needs, from hammers to drills to handle material to steel. He'll cut your steel, pre-cut it for your Damascus adventures and everything else you need. Grinders. I just actually put in an order last week. It's the first time in a while. I've been sitting pretty good now, but he also is stocking the Condersal, the high temp paint for stainless steel treatment, which Denis has completely, again, I guess, damn, it's your episode, has convinced me that is the way to go for heat treating stainless. So I'm excited to get my hands on that and grabbed a giant piece of AEBL. So I'm stoked. I also got a 2x72 leather belt.
Oh yeah, so
I
soon
think
to
it'll
be two
ship
by
that.
two
Yeah,
hundred.
yeah, it'll ship that way, but it won't be that way for long because I will leave that bitch on the grinder.
Yeah, yeah, you will have. I just thought of a really rude, inappropriate joke that now I'm not going to tell. Like, but you would stretch it out like something.
Oh Lord, put it in reverse, Terry.
But
Oh,
your talk about maritime reminded me of the last week's yeah, this is next week. Last week's Triple T episode where that's why I was laughing, because I'm reading your comment underneath.
I knew it was me.
um, Putting in the DRO for the drill press. So I've got a big stand-up drill press, which I really like. It's pretty accurate drill press, but I'm going to be doing the folder class, the folder series. So building a liner lock folder for folks that want to get into folders, and that's going to start this Thursday. Talk more about that in a second. But in order to do that, you either need a mill, okay, or you need some way, you need something that's going to give you a depth. So putting a DRO in your drill press is the way to go. And it's cheap. The one that Lawrence sells, and this is the only reason why I saw this, and we'll get back to Jerid's comment, but I saw this while perusing Maritime Knife Supply, and I see drill press DRO. And I'm like, what the F? Looked at it, like $37 purchase, and set it up. It works perfectly. And Jerid seems to think that he told me this, and I poo-pooed it, but now it's cool. I don't ever remember you telling me you had one of these.
Because you don't listen to anything I say, sir.
That's
And
not
this
true.
is a fun fact, everybody. I love my buddy a lot. I really do. But one thing he is not good at is taking a suggestion, right? If he doesn't come up with it, it's not cool. I've had this fucking DRO for at least 6 months.
I've never heard you talk about it ever.
Yeah, because you don't listen to me, apparently.
Then I didn't understand what you were saying.
Yeah, because you're like, that's stupid. Who would want to do that? No one's gonna make liner locks. Not that that's why I bought it, but I got it because I was trying to get the depths of my Golso bolts dialed in, which is another application for that. However, the drill that I installed it on, I had to use that clamp that you threw away. And it didn't quite work out.
Wasn't tight enough, had a little movement, you said?
Yeah, it was kind of angling in, and I couldn't, it was very difficult for it to get back to center. But I may switch it over to the big drill press. If that's the same setup as yours. So I thought it was extremely awesome, like last year or something. But now that Denis thinks it's cool, everybody go get yourself one, because if Denis says it, it's awesome.
Well, I had, and you say that I don't listen to things, but I had a suggestion in the comments on that video for a guy that said he just bought one for his rolling mill. And I was like, oh, that's genius. So I'm going to buy one and put one on my rolling mill. So, because one of the things that's always a pain in the butt is to know how close the rollers are in the rolling mill. So it would be really cool to zero it when they touch, and then you'll know exactly how wide the jaws are on the rolling mill.
I agree.
So that's
great suggestion, sir.
That's
going to kudos to you for getting Denis to take that suggestion, because I've not been able to.
I replied right to him going, yeah, that's some genius thinking right there. So
that is pretty cool.
That one's going to happen.
But yeah, it's an awesome product. Go check it out. Go grab one while they're still there. And yeah, that's the business.
But what else? Yeah. So I want to talk a little more about the folder series. So the this Thursday's video is mostly going to be on. Honestly, I think it's probably one of the most important parts of the series. Although, people are like
boringest. Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be designing what is important about the design of a liner lock. and we're going to go through the design. We're going to show I'm going to use knife print, and I'm going to show the pivot, and I'm going to show, hey, this part has to be here. You need clearance here. You need clearance here. This has got to go here. And I'm going to describe why things need to go where they are. And then that's most of the episode. And then the other part of the episode is what tooling you're going to need and why you're going to need that tooling, from disc grinders to, drills and DROs and the big stuff, but also what drill sizes and types are you going to need? You're going to need reamers. You're going to need taps. What size taps? What kind of material are you going to need? We're going to be using titanium. What does that mean? What kind of titanium you're going to need? All of this stuff we're going to discuss in the first episode, so you guys can go order that stuff and get ready, follow along on the future episodes if you want to follow along, or at least think about what you're going to need to get into this stuff, because I'll warn you, the material alone, when you get into folders, all those damn little screws, all of those pivots, they're all expensive. Not to mention the little carbide drills that you're going to need. Every one of those is $15 pop. You're probably going to need 15 of them. So it's not cheap to get into them. So be warned.
Got it.
But should be a fun series, and I think I know a lot of people are looking forward to this one. So
yeah, I agree.
It'll get people's feet wet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if all goes well, though, in Reno, I haven't decided what I want to do, but if I leave it up to Rick, I'll be making my first hidden tang buoy.
I love it. Rick, make him do it. That's a pretty tall order for a weekend, though.
We'll get close enough.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to want to show you or want you to forge something on the power hammer. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like forge a knife from stock on the power hammer, which is cool. I've never done it. I mean, the only thing I've done is what we did with the throwing knives. So
yeah, and same here. But although I am really, really interested in needing to swing the hammer too. So
yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be a quick weekend, and we'll get started. But I am super grateful and super excited, and I haven't finalized it, but I am hoping that everything works out and I get to get up there and hang out with our buddy. He's a good dude.
Yeah,
good times.
And not many people have a shop laid out like he does, with every single tool, multiples of each tool, and fun toys and power hammers. And hey, get him to crank up the salt bath and heat treat in the salt bath.
Isn't that dangerous?
Don't be a pussy.
I am, though. let's just get that out of the way.
It's honestly, it's something I'm starting to consider. I would love to be able to have the salt bath.
I have never even seen it done. I know zero about it. I will definitely ask him about it and have him explain the process, and maybe we'll do it. Bug it.
Because then for stainless, that would take away your need for condursal altogether.
I don't understand. I want to, maybe another time. But
molten salt. It's liquid salt. Instead of going into an oven, you're going into molten salt. That is whatever the temp you would set your oven at, that's the temp you set your salt at.
You dip it and pull it out, or do you?
No, it stays in there. Like your soak time. You're soaking in the salt.
And what makes it dangerous? Because I've heard a couple people say like shit can go boom.
If any liquid whatsoever hits 1900 degree salt, it's not going to be good.
Okay, all right.
It will erupt like a volcano. So,
all right.
But there's zero, like it comes out like zero scale because there's zero oxygen.
Oh yeah, okay.
So your steel,
I'm following now.
Your steel comes out like crystal clear.
Oh, I have a couple. Maybe I'll Jerid some shit up and take it up there just to heat treat.
Yeah. I mean, I just because I've talked to Rick on multiple occasions about the salt bath, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I do all my fittings in it," and because there's no scale, there's no
Ooh. Hey, Rick, we may not be doing shit. Nice.
If they're a couple $1,000, probably closer to $3. It's akin to a kiln, buying a kiln. You're basically buying a kiln with a pot in it that you put salt in. So,
interesting. I've only heard about it, never given it 2 seconds of thought past, I think, you mentioning it before.
Yeah, I had to talk with Spencer from Even Heat at Blade Show. Just, hey, what do you need? What's the setup? And he took me through it, and because they sell them now.
Oh, nice.
So,
good guys over there at Even Heat.
Yeah, and I think they're going to start to become more popular as more people use them. It's definitely not a beginner thing at all. Like
right.
There are safety issues. You don't want to do it outside. You don't want to do it. There's a story of a guy doing it outside, and a bird shit in his salt bath and erupted. Like,
oh Lord.
I don't know who that was, but I've heard that story before. But
yeah. Fun fact is that while California is a very special place, right? So I don't drink anymore. My only vice is tobacco, and my beautiful state here doesn't allow us to have flavored or menthol cigarettes or vapes or anything like. So it's just.
But that's
standard.
pretty recent, right? That's recent.
This is very recent.
Yeah,
like within the last year or so. So one day I go to get something, and they're like, "No, you can't get that anymore." I'm like, "What the fuck?" So every time I travel outside of the state, I feel like I'm a freaking junkie because I'm going to gas stations and loading up on those.
I remember when we were in Reno last time, you wanted to make a stop.
Reno, when I went to Georgia and Florida, I'm coming back with like, it's like, good Lord. And it's like super expensive out here too. And it's a lot cheaper other places. But yeah, I did the same thing in Idaho. I just kind of emptied my bag, and I'm like, this is a little bit excessive. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to Reno next weekend. I'll get some more.
Hey, you're going to New York in next month.
I'm trying to plan so I can stay ahead of this shit because I ran out from, and I had to.
Dude, you have a problem.
I do. But you tell me that when they stop selling Coronas.
Oh yeah, okay.
Be traveling out of state too, taking cruises on duty free shit. I just say, I feel like I'm a freaking flavored tobacco junkie right now.
Yeah, well, it could be worse.
I guess it could.
Yeah. You know what would be really bad with that salt pot? You know what kind of bird would have like a giant poop?
A pelican?
A pelican.
Oh shit. That's cool.
That kind of pelican paste you don't want. But what you do want is the pelican paste wax from our buddy Travis. So get yourself some pelican paste, hard wax, soft wax, pelican oil, hand salve, and the new hand soap. So get yourself some pelican paste. Use the discount code T10 and keep it out of your hot salt pot, even though it's wax. Probably not good for it. Not good for you.
Shit. Yeah. Oh.
How big is a pelican poop? That must be huge.
I have zero idea.
I mean, they're the size of Canadian geese. You know what they look like.
I don't.
You got turds like the size of my dogs.
Really?
Like, you've never seen Canada goose?
No, I live. No.
What?
No.
I don't believe you. You've never seen.
I'm not lying. Look at my face. This ain't a promise face. I'm telling you.
I mean, you've seen a Canada goose. You just never seen its poop.
I'm coming up with zero. I'll Google the damn Canada goose right now.
Come on, that is our one gift to the U.S. is the Canada geese. You know, the great Cobra chicken gooses. No,
I hear our buddy Luke say it on our homies Hustle and Grind, but it's just a regular goose.
They're Canada geese, buddy. We own them. We just loan them to the US. Actually, we export them.
And they take dog-sized shits.
Oh, totally. And they're green and disgusting, and they litter beaches, and it's gross. When I worked at Oracle, we had the big pond, in the marine world. Used to be the marine world pond. You know what I mean? Redwood City.
I do, actually.
Okay, so the Oracle buildings are inundated with Canada geese because they love that friggin' pond. So there's one guy's job where all he does every day is walk down the path with the pressure washer every damn day and clean off the goose poop. Full-time job, goose poop washer.
Because they're left over from...
No, because they're there all the time. The Canada geese are there all the time, walking down the path, pooping, and there's shit everywhere.
The Oracle pooper scooper?
Yeah, exactly. Could you imagine that as a title? I am the duck fart wash or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
No, that's not cool. But anyways, yeah, I agree. All that. What do we got here?
Yeah, what else you got?
Ooh, so coming up on a year from my buddy Andy, his wedding, where we had all my buddies. It's the last time we've been together. He's originally from California and moved out to North Carolina. He's the dude that had his coworker come up to him and say, "Oh, you're going to Blade Show?" He's like, "Oh, my buddy makes knives." And the dude shows my friend a picture of you and I together.
Oh, yes.
And he's like, "That's my friend." He's like, "No, that's my friend." And they're like, "What the fuck?" That story still freaks me out.
Yeah.
But he's out in North Carolina now, North Carolina, Charlotte. He's coming up on a year of his wedding, and I made a knife for him and his beautiful wife, and they actually used it to cut the wedding cake.
Nice.
This is prior to laser pecker days.
Okay.
So it just dawned on me that they're coming up on their year, and I was like, dude, send me. And I have a theme with all those knives, right? I have the wave cutter, the cake cutter, the panini cutter. So I was like, dude, send me the cake cutter back, and I will appropriately etch it, the cake cutter, and put your, the anniversary date and all that stuff. So
nice.
I'm pretty stoked about that.
See, you like the laser now.
There's awesome things about it. And then I got to do some custom lasering on the Intrepid 2.0 that's going to go out too. So yeah, the opportunities to make that product just a little bit more special with the lasers is infinite. I just don't like doing it. So
yeah, it's not my favorite thing to do. It's kind of like and now it's at least the very last thing I do after the knife is sharp. That part I love, because believe me, I like electro etching 10 times less than I like the lasering.
I still like the way how deep those and dark you can get your electro etch, but yeah, that shit sucked. In fact, when I was making the cake cutter and the panini cutter, I etched the one of them, and I fucked up the tape around, and I etched a deep ass line above my maker's mark, and I
remember.
Fucking sand that back forever, dude.
So I remember when you
that. I never will ever have to do again. In fact, as soon as I got the laser pecker, I gave it to my buddy Derek, because I built that thing from Redbeard's, DIY etcher thing that he has a video
the
on.
electro etch thing.
Yeah. I gave it away right. So I was like, this thing better work.
Yeah,
that's how much I enjoyed that one.
Cool.
And then go ahead.
No, finish.
I have I was scrolling through Instagram not too long ago and noticed that one of our former maker spotlights, Brad over at Old Glory Knives Forge, I think it's Knives, had a bunch of his flagship model, but it was, I think it's Baker's Steel. And he's got a YouTube channel, and so I was checking out the build on that. So I told him I wanted to give him a shout out and let everybody know that he's got a YouTube channel, and to go check that out and show our homie some love. So
Nice.
let's get him up to Denis status.
So it's Old Glory Knives YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we'll have to go check that one out.
Yeah.
Speaking of YouTube, I'm finally tomorrow. It was supposed to be today, but I delayed it because Adam came over. Finally going to start my apocalyptic challenge build tomorrow. So I'll be doing some forging tomorrow. I've also changed what I was going to build. So what I told you is not what I'm going to build. I'm going to build something else. So you'll see.
You can't fucking switch.
Yeah, I can. I haven't even started. I haven't even recorded 1 second video yet. So yeah, gonna change. So I'll be doing it alongside my my folder series. So hopefully both will be done. The folder series will probably be like 4 or 5 episodes at least. So we'll see. I'm hoping I got to get it done before Maker Camp. So I'm going on. What are we at? The 10th. Yeah. So I have a month. I have a month to do this build. So I'll probably stretch it out across a couple other projects because I got to get some of these chef knives and other, like, I got to get some stock ready for Black Friday kind of stuff. So I want to get a bunch of that stuff done now because I got some commissions starting in November that are going to keep me busy October, November-ish. So that's the reality. And I mean, this is not something I should complain about, but I think I've answered 4 emails in the last week about, I want a copper katana. How much are those going to cost? And I'm like, I'm so sick of taking, like, I've taken, I have three items in the commissions list for those, and I haven't even made them yet. And I'm already dreading having to make those. So I don't know that I want to add any more to my list of commissions. So that build may go on hiatus for a while. So we'll see. But I shouldn't complain about having business, but it's not the kind of thing I want to do. But
you could do it. You're going to be fine.
Yeah. So maker spotlights. Who you got this week?
I got the YouTube for Old Glory Knives is Brad W. But if you go to his IG at Old Glory, _glory_knives, there's a link in his bio to take you there and go check out that build. And it is Baker forged. He's building it for some organization there. So anyways, I didn't want to make that up. I said Old Glory Forge and I was wrong, so I apologize. I want to make sure I said shouting out Brad Wilson. So I have our buddy Brian Hunt from Hidden Rose Forge.
Nice.
Like I said, just got the opportunity to go hang out at his shop, and again, super appreciative for that. But Brian does awesome stuff, and if you're not following him, currently right now he's got 1,005 followers, and it is brianhunt.hiddenroseforge. He's out of Idaho and makes a couple of like standard models of Rave Runner and a couple things. But what he's really been doing recently is he got the Ameribraid Hyper Disc, and it's kind of helped him make these segmented scales. So for like us, we're doing like me, I should say, I save all of these cutoffs from every handle that I do with the intent of one day making some either, beads of some kind, or these segmented scales, but he's killing it right now. He showed me a bunch of them and kind of went through the process and stuff. So I dig what he does. He's a good dude. And go check him out.
Nice. Yeah, I met. Well, I mean, we both met Brian before in person. Great dude. Good.
Yeah,
Good
if you're
guy.
gonna go to Blade West, he'll be out there this year.
Oh,
So
nice.
go look at him. I told him we won't be there this year. We're not doing both. But
No. My maker spotlight this week, because I've been going back and forth with Mr. Kyle Daly at KH Daily Knives. I figured I would put him on my maker spotlight. Go check out Kyle. Great dude. Makes some great knives, but also has got a lot of stuff on his website for knife makers. The Sanding Buddy, which I spoke about. Basically, it's like a stick to hold your sandpaper, and you can put different radiuses on. Really cool. Works well with the Sand Shark, so stay tuned. There'll be something coming there. But he's got a bunch of other things as well. Just really smart guy. I think he's an engineer by trade, because he does a lot of engineering things, does a lot of 3D printed little tools for knife makers. So go check him out. He's also the host of the Knife Perspective podcast. So check that out as well. It's in our list of other podcasts to check out in the show notes.
Yep, Kyle's a great dude, man. One of the nicest guys. I think we just went through that whole bunch of the nicest guys in our community fighting. I think that was great. But yeah, cool dude. Does all the file work classes at Blade Show. A lot of tools to help kind of move along the knife making process. I myself use his sanding stick, the piece of G10 that he has. It's flat on the bottom. It's got some radiuses on it. It is my go-to. I've tried all kinds of different sanding sticks, but he puts it's got some rubber, different hardnesses of rubber for as you go up on the grit to kind of hard back, little softer, and then real soft to help you kind of blend stuff in. But that's the thing. I got his 3D printed his glue holder and his pin tray, and so he's always got a bunch of cool stuff. So yeah, I agree. Good dude, and makes bitchin' stuff too. So
yeah. So go check those guys out. Give them some love if you don't already follow them. And yeah.
Oh shit! He just gave me a shout out the other day because check this out. He was Jeriding a knife.
Are you happy that your name has become a household verb?
I'm not angry at it. You know what? Because there's shit I can do about it. You might as well embrace it. But I do get a kick out of it when, like when Brian opened up his drawer and said, "This is my Jerid drawer." But Kyle too. He was profiling on a big contact wheel.
Yes, I've seen his post on that.
Yeah. And that's the one I have never thought of to do that.
I've heard people say that because the serrated wheel is the best way to remove material. I just never. This comes down to one of those lazy things. I never want to go and put the wheel on.
The wheel on, yeah.
Like just to switch it for something like that. But
yeah, I agree. But it's I think he was making short work of this this Jerid ding he was doing. So yeah, sorry, I meant to mention that earlier, but
yeah, I honestly, I've never profiled on a wheel, so maybe I'll have to try it sometime. And if it's like radically faster, maybe I have to put that in my rotation.
Yeah, I'm considering it heavily.
Yeah. Especially like you have a big 10-inch serrated wheel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just the serrations really tear up steel, especially with one of those, like either like the Razor Star or like an Actorox or something like that.
Yeah.
But cool. Did we talk about Mr. Baker? Yeah, so I'm going to be forging tomorrow, and I'm going to be making some copper to Damascus. But if I wasn't going to make copper to Damascus, I would be buying it from Baker Forge, because these guys are the pioneers. So go get yourself some awesome steel at Baker Forge and Tool. And when you're ready to etch that steel, got to get yourself some gator piss, because it is the etchant superior for any kind of Damascus, copper Damascus, any of those. And use your discount code T10, get 10% off that order. Do you know how the Steel Showdown is going? Have you been following that?
I did not catch it this week.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But I do know that, in our one of our other beautiful sponsors, Maritime Knife Supply, has just got a new shipment of some Baker Steel, and he has gator piss there if you're over there with those gooses. So
yeah, I thought it was cool that now gator piss is even available over in the UK, which was I was listening. What the hell podcast was I listening to? Oh, I think Fire and Steel had. Why am I forgetting his name?
Toby?
No.
Owner?
Matt Bicker from DIY Europe had him on talking about gator piss, because I guess he sells it for Europe now, which was just cool.
Very cool. Yeah, and then I know he's working on something with Travis too as well to get Pelican paste out over there.
Yeah. And it's cool because the recipe, they're not shipping product. The recipe is going over there and Matt's making it, which is cool. I'm sure there's some NDAs and all kinds of other legal stuff flying around, but
absolutely.
But that's cool. That's cool.
That's the trust in this beautiful community that allows it to keep on giving across large bodies of water and country boundaries. This week in the Steel Showdown is Tsunami Chevron versus Inferno. So
I don't know the Inferno one.
Go get your vote in.
Yeah, I love all the some of the chevron patterns they do are some of my favorites.
Oh, the Inferno is really cool.
Is that one copper?
Yeah, it's got some copper. It's like a ladder. I paused it on a video. I don't have the exact specs on it, but yeah, that looks really cool.
Yeah,
Tsunami Chevron is that's a hard one to beat there. So good luck, Inferno.
Yeah, the Tsunami Chevron and the Ripple, those two are the ones that I really like. Yeah, I think some of their best patterns. So go check them out. Go get the app and you can
get early access too if you use the app. So take advantage of that and use the code. Use the code. Why not use the code?
Yes, absolutely. T10.
Save some money.
None of these other podcast codes. Use our code.
T10. That's TTs plus another T. All right.
Yeah, everybody wants the TTs.
That's right.
And you know what? Now that the weather is finally cooling down, I finally finished my jet ski repair, and now it's going to be too cold to use them.
I love this.
But I finally got off my ass. That's what I spent half the day Monday, which is why I was been distracted from the dagger build. Finally got the jet ski patched, and it looks all nice, and saved myself $2,300.
Well, good on you for that.
Yeah, but I swear it is like we hate hand sanding. That's all that is. It's just fucking hand sanding. It's applying that gel coat and then getting thin layers and then sanding, and it's just.
I feel like an orbital sander or something like could really help speed that body shop style sanding.
If it was just a flat area, yes. But this is like the bow of the jet ski, which has a point, and it's got like these little like ribs kind of thing on it that drop. So it's not.
What are you doing? What are you doing with ribs, homie? Your jet ski got ribs.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, I agree with you. If it was just a flat hull, it would be easy. But this is the worst part of where this could have happened, is the very bow of the jet ski, right where the cleat is, the tie-off cleat. So anyway, it looks good now. It's done. I don't have to worry about it. So if we have another hot spell, maybe I'll get him in the water.
Yeah. I was just looking at the since we're a fucking weather show, in Idaho, which I really like that area, except I know it's going to get cold, and I'm not dealing with the cold.
California.
So I'm bitching. Yeah, I'm bitching about the heat, and I'm bitching about the cold. There's nowhere I could go. I'm fucking stuck here. But I got a notification today that it's good. They're having a fucking 21-degree swing from yesterday to today.
Yeah,
96 to 90 to 70. I don't know. One day, that's a big swing.
Yeah, we did from Sunday to Monday almost, or Monday to Tuesday. We had a 20-degree
of this
swing.
Week.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't fucking here. I don't know that. It was hot as shit when I left, and when I came back, it was all right.
Yeah. Well, you're spoiled because California in a day will have like 40-degree swings in a day, like from the hottest point of the day to the coolest point of the day. Yeah. If you're
cool
in
mornings are an everyday thing. Like the crisp, cool morning air
cool morning. Yeah. You go to Florida or go to Toronto, you might have in the heat of the summer, you have like a 5-degree swing. It goes from like 95 to 90. It's ridiculous.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo, boo, boo.
All right. I've had enough weather talk.
Yeah, me too. You know what? So I don't know if it's a situation, but trying to be a grown up and go to work.
Are you winning?
I've been doing pretty good for quite a few many years in a row. Every single morning I wake up and I contemplate, is this the day that I just, throw it all away? But yeah, life is full, and there's so little time. And for whatever reason, I guess we talk about the hammock and the slow summer. I know you didn't really experience that.
But this month's been a little slow, so.
Okay. All right. But I am all of a sudden getting a lot of interest.
Good.
It's good. And now it's getting like a little stressful. Like I have a lot of people interested, and it takes me so fucking long to get anything done and out the door. I have no inventory, right? So I might have to start reprioritizing some stuff and get my ass busy. But I'm really hoping that, with the weather change, that we get some more time. It's more convenient to get out there. But yeah, I'm stoked, man. And I'm super flattered that, it's starting to get, some interest, and, just it's hard for me to explain because, again, I don't think anything I do is cool. So, a different position to be in, and I thought I would just share that, and hopefully not everybody's a super badass maker and has all kinds of shit ready to go and is crushing it all the time, and maybe someone relates to the overwhelming feel of stress from, be careful what you wish for type thing,
Yeah.
So
well, that's good. That's good. I'm happy for you. Now you just got to deliver on some of these orders, right?
Yeah. So I am confident with my 6 months, but I'm a couple months into a couple of those, so I better get my ass fucking busy here.
I stress myself out over calendar stuff, and usually I'm fine making dates and things like that. I never usually have to delay a date, but I stress myself out over it when it gets close, and yeah, I'm feeling that stress already for not having things ready for November, December yet, even though it's only September.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm feeling the same, like it just all of a sudden it's like, feast or famine type thing. You get in this spot where you're like, oh no, but, and then I always find myself with like 5 knives to hand sand all at the same time. And that's, my friends, why Jerid goes to profiling another knife. Because, but thankfully for the Sand Shark, I can expedite that off a little bit better. But
you know what'll help you with that? Actually finishing knives beginning to end, and then you won't have this problem where you have 5 of them to hand sand.
I agree. I cannot dispute that.
All
and
right.
I think my buddy Sean Wilson, Sean the knife guy, said it the best one time. This was years ago, I believe, but I was trying to do a batch and I had like 5, and I have 5 knives to hand sand, and he's like, "Why do you hate yourself so much?" I was like, "I don't know, man. I don't know."
I have now resigned myself. The only batches I do are the ones that I don't do hand sanding on. That's the only kind of batch. I say that, but I know I have a batch of chef knives to do. But
I feel confident though that you don't have to get 1,000 grit to get a satin finish.
Yeah, definitely not. 400's great for a satin finish.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of sitting on right now. It's like I'm almost there. I got 1 more grit to go. That's gonna be great.
Yeah,
but yeah.
All right, man. Well, we're an hour and 20 in. I think we should call this.
I agree.
I need to edit this bitch and get myself to bed. Now, I guess I'm going to release it as soon as I'm done editing. No point in holding it. Since we're already half a day late. So
yeah, you pissed everybody off.
All right, man.
Good deal, brother.
I'm going to play us out.
You know what's good about not having a Triple T on Tuesday?
What?
You get to hear it tomorrow. Happy Wednesday, everybody. That's a wrap.